Hello and welcome back. This is Cockadoodle Coo, a show examining the serious potential threat to all of humanity, the chicken apocalypse. I'm your host, Pete Wallace.
Episode 8, Alektorophobia.
Welcome back. On this show, we've looked at the chicken threat through the lenses of economics, genetics, geography, current events, social media, a number of viewpoints that combined could leave a person feeling discouraged or just cross-eyed. But a chicken apocalypse is not a foregone conclusion. Far from it. Take heart, fellow humans. Today, we'll turn and face fear directly and take control over the situation. Let's start with a couple quick examples of the anger and frustration related to chickens and the havoc they create. An Oregon man was so angry about his tax situation, he left 7 chickens inside the state revenue office. A police representative said the chickens did no damage to the office, but did leave behind a bit of poop. Notice how he equated retribution with chickens. Roosters are banned in cities across the U.S., with good reason. One woman in Michigan got so fed up with one that she posted an expletive-riddled rant on Facebook about it, and it went viral. She said, among other things, the rooster has no snooze button and does, quote, his obnoxious cockadoodle thing right outside of your windows, unquote. She said the rooster is such an inconsiderate jerk. Amen to that, sister. These folks need to know they are not alone. To dive deeper into this perpetual human-chicken struggle and the resulting mental battle, I spoke with psychologist Dr. Declan Winchester, who specializes in alektorophobia. Welcome, Doctor. Can you
Hey, thanks for having me.
Can you define alektorophobia for our listeners?
Oh, well, but of course. Alektorophobia it's a rare condition. It's characterized by an intense, irrational fear of chickens. The word comes from the Greek word elektor, which means rooster, and phobos, which means fear. However, anyone who's ever looked at a rooster in his beady little eyes would sense the inner velociraptor wanting to attack.
I agree. What are some causes and symptoms?
Well, the symptoms may include dry mouth, sweating, or trembling in the presence of a chicken, anxiety visiting a farm, or even just being around a flock of birds. One is not typically born with this fear. Often, a person has a traumatic experience when they're young, as chickens have learned to begin the mind games when a human is young and most vulnerable.
So what are some possible treatments?
There are several things that you can try. There's meditation, deep breathing techniques, hypnotherapy, and there are drugs. They should only be used as a last resort, on the humans anyway. Ultimately, you must face the fear, recognize that they are not dinosaurs. They provide a tasty breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The very act of eating chicken or eggs reinforces the feeling of being in control. Remind yourself that if you're an adult, you can always drop kick the chicken.
Interesting. So is there an optimum age to discuss the dark side of chickens with your children?
Well, that is, of course, up to the parents. But you want to teach them while they're young, not to be afraid of chickens, but to be smart about them. Again, a key piece of child's development is including chicken and eggs in their diet over time. Once a child develops a taste for chicken and eggs, coupled with regular visits to a farmer's market, a healthy mindset will be formed, and it will serve them well far into adulthood.
Outstanding. So before anyone tries to label me an electorophobe, I am not afraid, I can tell you that. I also calmly and rationally present plenty of supporting evidence in every episode of this show to demonstrate that I am thinking quite clearly. So, what about those in denial? Is that based on fear, do you think?
Oh, quite possibly. That's a tricky one, though. You're doing your part to explain what the dangers are and why we need to pay attention to them. But you just can't make everyone understand. Some people simply choose not to accept the possibility of a chicken apocalypse, so they put themselves in more danger as a result. You can't protect everyone, Pete.
Appreciate that, Doctor. I must keep trying, though. Any last bit of advice for any listeners or those they might know suffering from alektorophobia?
If you suffer from it, don't suffer in silence. Talk with someone. You are not alone. You are not the problem. Chickens. Oh no. They found me again. I've got to go.
Our session ended abruptly, and the doctor was obviously a bit on edge. But his point about sufferers remains. You are not the problem. Chickens are. Crucial for a healthy mindset. Which leads to our next piece. Strategies that can help your peace of mind and boost your confidence to successfully handle a direct encounter with a belligerent hen or rooster. Let's turn the tables. What do chickens fear? What would work against them? Quite a few common objects can serve as deterrents towards chickens. Soccer balls, metal bowls, some chairs, or even certain clothing items. But brooms are actually quite effective in a face-to-face situation. In a more rural setting, a simple distraction technique may be to toss a handful of feed. Apparently, even in the face of a predator attack, they may prefer to stuff their faces when given the option. Chickens are not known for their self-discipline. Use that weakness against them. Next, a little discussion about molting. Molting is when a bird will lose and replace its feathers in a matter of a few weeks. It's a natural and necessary process by which chickens lose old, broken, and soiled feathers for new ones, and will molt several times in their lifetime. Here's where to pay close attention. While they are molting, they are a little lacking in protein. Molting is extremely stressful and draining for a hen. They appear naked and just look silly. Remind yourself that this is a more vulnerable creature, physically and mentally. Not only that, but lower status hens are sometimes pecked by the others while they are molting. So if you see a half-naked chicken with peck marks or small bits of blood, that chicken is likely considered a loser in its own community and will be easier to defend against. To take this a bit further, they can be turned on each other. Yes, roosters and even some hens will kill each other. Might be a new bird introduced to an established flock, or chickens of different ages put together. Adult chickens have sometimes even eaten chicks. Try to observe their interaction and use this gruesome cannibalistic tendency against them. Chickens and the chicken menace can mess with your head. Don't let it get you down. You are not alone. I hope to dedicate a future episode to further exploring chicken behavior and the so-called pecking order. For now, remember to support local farmers. Eat chicken and eggs regularly. If we eat them, they can't fight back and the threat will be neutralized. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and follow the show on Instagram or Twitter. Until next time, educate yourself and spread the word. Tell a friend to listen in. Together, we can prevent the unthinkable.